Along this pristine beach, atop these sandstone cliffs, lies an untouched wilderness. But look close enough and you'll see signs of human habitation. These are the clues that this wilderness is not untouched. There was a town here, now a ghost town. It was called Naples, California.
I first discovered Naples when I was scrolling around on Google Earth in my local area, as one often does. I saw this label, Naples, north of UCSB on the Gaviota Coast, but I'd never heard of a town called Naples before. Zooming in, and there's really nothing there. But if you look a little bit closer, there are some faint rectangles and lines, and even this dirt road and maybe some ruins. Well, it turns out that Naples is a ghost town hiding right in my backyard. I went down a rabbit hole to learn more about it.
Here we are on the side of the 101 on the Gaviota Coast north of Goleta. And you can see we're on what used to be a public road. The only remnant of that is this faint yellow line. But to find the town site of the ghost town of Naples, California, we're going to need to travel deep into this untouched wilderness to see what's left. Let's go. Back in 1887, John H. Williams and his wife Alice, wealthy globetrotters from Ohio, decided they'd recreate the magic of Naples, Italy, right here on the California coast. Their plan was to build a world-class hotel, a luxurious coastal town, and of course, make a fortune. They called it the Crescent Beach Hotel and dubbed the area Naples-by-the-Sea. And then, boom, a real estate boom hit California. The Union Pacific Railroad had announced that they planned to build a line from LA to San Francisco following a coastal route, which would lead trains laden with thousands of passengers and their money straight through the Gaviota Coast. Land prices skyrocketed. In 1886, an acre of Los Angeles land went for $100, and the following year it was worth $1,500. The Williams saw their moment. They bought 900 acres of pristine oceanfront for $50,000 and launched the Naples Improvement Company with some high-powered railroad execs as partners. The plan was grand. So we're getting closer to the town site, and it's getting quieter and quieter as we get further from the freeway and approach the ocean where this town once stood. We're here to see a ghost town. Ghost towns in California are quite rare. Most of Southern California is completely urbanized, and anywhere valuable along the coast has already been built on. That's one of the things that makes Naples so interesting, because this is really the first undeveloped piece of property from basically San Diego all the way up through Los Angeles and Santa Barbara. And we're going to see that there was an attempt to develop it at one time and learn what went wrong and why it's still empty today. Nationwide ads advertised a, quote, comfortable, spacious building directly by the sea where guests could stay. But not a single brick had been laid.
Nice.
They even built 20-foot tall wooden letters spelling Naples on the bluffs, visible 10 miles out to sea. But like the dream itself, they were no match for the wind. By 1890, they had blown down. Still, they laid out the entire town on paper, numbered streets, elegant parks and avenues named after volcanoes and islands, Vesuvius, Etna, and Capri. That's why maps from this era, like the one at the county courthouse, show Naples as if it was a city that rivaled Santa Barbara in size. In reality, only 2 roads were built, named after the celebrities of the day, Langtree and Patty. The goal, make Naples sound like the hotspot for the rich and famous, but the reality, it was just gorgeous, untouched land. Now, the first clue that we're approaching a ghost town is this road. If you look closely, you can see that it was once paved with asphalt a long time ago. I mean, this thing is completely worn down. But this road was once meant to carry far more than just a couple of guys walking towards the beach. And as we get towards the town, we'll see that the quality of this road actually improves. So let's go check it out. Despite all the setbacks, Alice fell in love with the place. They bought more land and moved into the old den adobe, where they lived with their pug dogs, just waiting for that railroad. But then the economy took a dive. Railroad construction stopped short of Naples down at Elwood. No railroad meant no Naples boomtown. By the time the tracks finally reached Naples 20 years later, the moment had passed. Now, as we round the corner, approaching the railroad tracks, we see our first abandoned building. Now, the thing about this building is it's not actually from the ghost town. It's actually an old marketing gimmick from the 1980s, which sought to redevelop this land into housing. And the developers thought it would be fun to build an old Union Pacific style train station called the Naples Station as a gimmick to get people to come buy homes here. But perhaps there's something cursed about this land because they weren't able to get that proposal off the ground. And now this building is just as abandoned as the ghost town from 100 years earlier. Williams did manage to build a small town using salvaged lumber from a schooner. There was a post office, a dance hall, even a baseball team, the Naples 9. Here they are hanging out at the town's post office after a game. The town may have been modest, but it had heart. When John passed away in 1895, Alice still wasn't ready to give up. She built a Gothic chapel in his honor, complete with stained glass, gargoyles, and tombs, one for John and two for her dearly departed pugs. The locals called it the Haunted Chapel. Here's what the town looked like at its height in 1900, complete with 2, a dance hall, 3, the blacksmith shop, 4, the Wells Fargo barn, 5, the Naples Hotel, and 1, the Haunted Chapel looming behind. Right before we get to the town site, on my right, we have to cross over what's actually the most important thing here, this railroad track, owned by Union Pacific and today used by Amtrak trains like the Surfliner and freight trains. The whole reason this town was going to exist was because of this coastal rail route. But here's the thing. These tracks weren't laid until around 20 years after the town was originally founded. The railroad tracks were supposed to bring people, visitors, residents, and all the goods to support the town. It was the 1800s after all, and there was no 101 freeway. But because the railroad didn't get built, that helped the town die and never make it. So let's keep walking and go visit the town site. Check out the ocean right here. In 1901, Alice finally got to see a train pull into Naples. She greeted it with roses, placed John's dug-up coffin on board, and took him on that long-dreamed-of ride into Santa Barbara and back. So even in death, he got his wish. But while the train finally arrived, the dream had run out of steam. The elite had already flocked to Santa Barbara and Montecito. Naples faded into quiet farmland. Here we are in the center of town, Naples, California. There's not much left. This is the main street. This barely discernible path is called Langtree Avenue. It actually has a name. In 1917, oilman H.G. Wiley bought the land, declared Naples dead, bulldozed the town, and planted walnut trees. In 1925, a powerful earthquake reduced Alice's beloved chapel to rubble, as you can see in this picture. Wiley dismantled what was left and reused the stone elsewhere. Some of those blocks still stand as a decorative entrance wall to a farm nearby today, quietly whispering the story of what could have been. All the buildings that once stood here have been torn down. The old post office, the general store, and the hotel. But this is where they were. This was Naples, California. And you can see why the Williams thought it would be an amazing place to have a resort and a town, because it's absolutely beautiful. I'm just going to stop talking so that you guys can just hear how quiet it is here. Absolutely picturesque. New plans came and went. In 2024, just a few houses were proposed and hundreds of people rose up in opposition. The developers backed off. Again. Times have changed. People have come to appreciate the natural beauty of the Gaviota Coast. The empty bluffs at Naples are now seen as a treasure, not just land waiting to be developed. If you want to help protect this coast, groups like the Gaviota Coast Conservancy are working hard to keep places like Naples wild and untouched. Because what we have here isn't just a pretty piece of land. It's a story and a legacy, a dream that still echoes through the hills and the tides. Though I do wonder, if Naples had lasted and grown into a small town, what would it be like today? I'm sure it would be a popular tourist destination like nearby Solvang or Carpinteria. The YIMBY tendencies in me want to support housing and even a town here, But the realistic part of me knows that any future proposals will probably be single-family homes in an unwalkable neighborhood, disconnected from the rest of the city by transit and only accessible by car. I'd go for a new urbanist type development here, but for now I'm much more in favor of infill in the already walkable and bikeable downtown Santa Barbara. Today all that's here is the green grass, the crashing waves, a guy with some dogs, a bird soaring right there, and an oil drilling platform, which is a story for another video. Well, this has been a beautiful journey to Naples, California, a ghost town on California's Central Coast. Stay tuned. We're going to keep discovering more cool stuff. So, thanks for watching.
Oh, free hand in the camera.
Back in Naples with a very special boy. Meet Barney. Barney. Good boy. We came back for, well, two reasons. First of all, I wanted to see this place in the sun because it was so terribly cloudy last time. Also, there is a survey marker that I looked for desperately the first time I was here with John last week. Could not find it, but on our way out, a mysterious old man with a dog that he said was half wolf and half golden retriever told us that the survey marker is at the end of the third peninsula. In a way, I don't know. I feel like the survey marker is important because when it was put down, this town still existed and the marker was unimportant. Today, it's still unimportant, but it's also the last remnant of the town because the town was torn up, let's see, 5 years after they put the survey marker down. We think it's over here based on the USGS map. We're probably the only people who have ever come here and not tried to go to the beach. So it should be a few feet over here. I looked here last time when I was here with John and I didn't see it. Then again, it's a small disc in the dirt, so.
Wait, there's the water tower.
Oh, I wonder what that's from, like how old it is.
Because it says that's where the survey marker is, right?
No, it says near. Okay, wait, ready? We're almost there. I do not know how to like triangulate. Okay, you're gonna have to hold the dog while I go look for this. Here I go into the thicket. Oh, there it is. Survey marker. Here we go. Look. Wow. Wait. Do you see it? Like literally just like scan the ground. I don't know where. Nearby survey marker. That's so obnoxious. It says that I'm on top and I'm not on top of anything except some burned wooden logs. So I don't really know what to make of this because I'm very glad I'm wearing pants. I can tell you that because this is crazy. It's GeoWizard. I'm GeoWizarding. Is this what it's like? Is this what his straight line missions are like? This is terrible. And I'm in sunny California. Could you imagine doing this in freaking Wales or wherever the heck he scrambles around? Wait. This is the wrong one. What? Look, it says 1970. This isn't the same one from the picture. Dude, this doesn't even say Naples on it.
What does it say?
It doesn't say anything. It just is a bunch of crap.
Well, after that disappointment, we decided to heed the advice of the old man and look for the third peninsula. Even Barnaby got in on helping with the search.
Oh, I see it too. Oh my gosh. I see it. What a random spot. What the heck?
And there it is.
Stay, Barney. Okay. Good boy. Well, folks, We're in one of the absolute most beautiful locations you could possibly imagine. And we found the Naples survey marker, which is in fantastic shape. I've conquered the survey marker because I've stood on it. All right. Now what?
Okay, one more thing. You didn't think I'd end this without showing the beautiful beach. To get there, we went down this little canyon until it became a ravine, past a rusty gate.
We're here at the beach. There's this stump and a definitely non-ADA compliant rope ramp.
And finally, the pristine beach. That was Naples, California. Thanks for watching Sullyville. Until next time, see you later.